The Queen Mother Memorial Cup is next up for us, and if you want the view of Zach Purton as well, head to the website, Multimedia Showcase, HK Direct. Zach was this week's special guest, looking at his ride in Exultant, looking back on his 2 Group 1 wins and looking ahead as well to the end of the season in his clash with Joe Moreira in the Jockeys title race of there. So, HK Direct on the website for all of that, but we'll plough on to the feature race ourselves here. It's a Group 3 contest over the 2,400 metres with a field of 8 due to go to post. Headed by last year's winner, Eagle Way, behind Pakistan Star, finished 3rd just last weekend. Exultant runner-up in the Derby, Prawn Baba up in class, up in trip, but beat Exultant last time out. Doyeni finished 3rd in that race. Happy Baby finished 8th. Savvy 6th with 4th behind Prawn Baba. And then we got the 2 in the same colours, Rickfield and Goldfield for Tony Millard and Richard Gibson, respectively. Brett, the touchscreen for this one. Brett, have a look at the speed map. Just a small field here, but Goldfields set out in front last time out, and every chance that might try and do a similar thing again.
I would have thought so, Andrew, yes. The problem potentially for horses like Exultant and maybe Eagle Way is going to be the lack of speed, because there doesn't look to be a huge amount of it. As you mentioned, a lot of overseas gallopers who are on their way forward here. Goldfield's one of them coming through. Prawn Baba, we know he was a good last start winner. He's likely to take the box seat. If Happy Baby can step well, the same can be said for Doyeni. They could potentially hold spots there. I wonder whether Rickfield potentially might try and get outside of Goldfield. Not initially, but maybe with a tactical manoeuvre. And Savvy 6 obviously is on the upward spiral a little bit too. All this time Exultant will be just sitting back looking for the race to unfold and hopefully unfolding a fair way out which can drag him into it. Eagle Way down there on the fence.
Yeah, Exultant getting up to the 2,400 metres for the first time, of course, as well. Paul, what have you seen in the mornings?
Well, let's have a start with him. Exultant, you can see him, he's just doing some nice quiet work. He's not really being pushed out here, but he's a super fit horse. He's been up for a long time, so he doesn't need to do too much, and you can see he's just being really kind on the horse as he comes down. He's not being extended at all here. Prawn Baba, who's a Class 2 winner over the 2,200 metres, steps up now into Group 3 company under this handicap condition. He's going okay here as well. Seems to have come out of his race with no issues whatsoever and does sort of relish the longer trips by all accounts. Here's Rickfield. Now, I thought I'd show him this because he doesn't settle very well. Now, we had Goldfield go forward, but if they do crawl, and Rickfield has made a mid-race move before, you can see he wants to get on with it, so wouldn't be surprised if the tactics come into this race.
All right, be interesting to see what happens there. Prawn Baba won last time out with Olivia Deleuze in the saddle. Joe Moreira takes over on Sunday.
Prawn Baba, Joe, the last time you rode him in a race was when you rode 8 winners on the day, and he was your 8th winner. You ride him in the Queen Mother Memorial Cup on Sunday. How do you think he'll go?
I think he's going to go fantastic. With the light weight on his back, he will definitely appreciate that. There is 1 or 2 horses there which are very good horses, in particular Exultant that finished 2nd or 3rd on the Derby, if I'm not wrong. But with the light weight on his back, I think he's a winnable.
He's coming off that last start win. I know you didn't ride him, but the fact that he's coming off a win and beating a number of those horses must give you a bit of confidence as well.
It does give me confidence because pretty much they are pretty much the same horse that he's going to be running against. Plus that he's carrying the light weight on his back, so I am very confident he's going to run a very good race.
He got a beautiful run in behind Sergeant Titanium last time out, dragged him right into the race. We're going to have a look at that in actual fact now, guys. So Prawn Baba was the winner. That's Sergeant Titanium down on the rails, just starting to call time. Exultant out wide, he had a bit of ground to make up as they swung in. Doyeni just in behind the eventual winner. Savvy 6, who's proving a little bit reluctant to get to the start. When he gets going, he's certainly got a bit of ability, and Happy Baby too.
There's a few horses to work around, isn't there, here? I thought the run from Doyeni, I've always been a big fan of Doyeni. I've always thought there's a decent win in him, and maybe it'll be at the 1.5 miles. He was slow to get going out of the gates. I like the way he kept grinding away. Savvy 6 did the same, and Prawn Baba as well. Just look at Exultant there. I know he picks up late stages, but I remember calling the race thinking at about the 500. Geez, hard ridden here. I don't know whether he's going to respond, Exultant, and eventually sort of gradually ground his way into 2nd there. I know he's stepping up to the 2,400 or the 1.5 miles and it looks better. But I just wonder, as Paul mentioned before, he has been up a long while, whether or not he might be a slight risk for me. Maybe he could be on the little side of tired. He could easily come out and win it as well on his form and the way he's going. But I just saw something there and maybe sensed potentially he might be on the downward spiral in his campaign. So I'm actually going to risk him.
All right, OK. What about Eagle Way, Paul? This is the run, of course, last weekend behind Pakistan Star. An amazing win, of course, as we know. But Eagle Way was pretty good in defeat.
He was very good in defeat. He won this race last year, of course. He's come out of that. He's in perfect form. This is the race that John Moore's always said he's been set for. Not a bad form race when you're behind Pakistan Star. This is Group 1. The last race we saw it was a Class 2. I think class is permanent, and I'm going to side with Eagle Way.
Yeah, and of course Gold Mount as well, Paul, who ran second. Both these horses have had big wins at the Valley this season and really showed their class on the occasion. So I think Eagle Way, despite all the weight, he must be respected.
All right, he's got to give £12 to Exultant, and he's coming for a tough run, just 7-day backup as well. So again, if you're looking for an angle there, the other horses we need to take a check on. Next up for us is Rickfield. Of course, Rickfield and Goldfield in the same colours, but Rickfield the grey, getting out wide here at the Valley.
I think Rickfield will love the 2,400 metres, definitely, and Goldfield potentially could be the same. Goldfield's obviously a fair way behind with regards to his preparation, as opposed to Rickfield, who's been here for longer, Paul. But we've seen him stay the 2,200 at the Valley, Rickfield, quite well. Yeah,
I'm going to sneak him in for 4th, Rickfield, because I think he's a horse that, if there are tactics in the mid-race, Chance Schofield might, if he's pulling in that, he might try and sneak away with the race. So, yeah, I stuck him in for a 4th line.
Yeah, Alexi Bedell pulled off one of those mid-race moves on him. It was a huge win as well. So, horse in the same colours is Goldfield. Now, he's a 2-time Grade 1 winner in Argentina, up to 2,500 metres as well. So, distance shouldn't be an issue for him.
No, that's right. And as we said when we looked at the speed map, he rolled on here, and potentially Karis Teton might be instructed to roll him on again. As you mentioned, Andrew, he had some very good form before he came. He's had the 6 starts now, so we should expect to see a little bit of improvement. He was beaten for a turn of acceleration here by Super Chic and Giant Turtle, and collared late for 3rd. But he's getting better and better, and an uncontested lead might see him run a cheeky race.
Yep, all right, so he might be the one out in front, giving him something to aim at, and we'll see Giant Turtle as well later on the programme as well, so a little lead in with him. But as far as the ultimate selections are concerned, Paul?
I'm going to go with the class horse here. I know he's going to carry the weight, but I think he can. He did win the race last year in Eagle Way. Exultant, as Brett said, he didn't have a flat patch during his race, but he did pick up on the line. I think his best part of that race was the last 50 metres, and up to 2,400 metres should suit him. Prawn Barber has to step up from Class 2 to Group 3, but the distance looks ideal, and Rickfield, as I mentioned before, with the tactics-wise. So I think it's going to be the top 3. I went 1, 2, 3 and 7, but I think 1 can win it.
I'm going to leave Exultant out for the reasons I mentioned. I'm not suggesting he can't win. I just get the feeling he could be on the downward spiral in his preparation. I sensed something there last time, that he might be a little tired. And I think there's horses that are on the rise here, and a lot of them come in with light weights. And then you've got the class of Eagle Way, who's definitely going well, still building in his prep, I would have thought. So Doyenne, Prawn Barber, Eagle Way, Savvy 6, 4, 3, 1, 6. I'm happy to play the 4 on an each way basis.
All right, small field. We've all come up with a different winner. Exultant all day for me. Tony Cruz and Zach Purton. That's the feature race number 4. Short break. Come back with race number 5. First leg of the Triple Trio.